The movie To Kill a Monkey has received a lot of praise, and rightly so. The tension, the suspense, the way the characters deliver their lines with so much conviction makes you feel like you are right there with them. If you have seen the movie, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But if you haven't seen the series yet, don't worry, this is not a review. No spoilers here. We are going beyond the acting, beyond the cinematography, into what the movie is really saying. Because even though the movie opens with, "This is a work of fiction," you and I know that this is not just a story. It is the real life experience of many Nigerians today. The series is not just entertainment. It's a cry for help from young Nigerians who are tired, who are trying, and who are watching honesty get punished while crime is rewarded. Kemi Adetiba and her crew did a good job showing the world the story. Let's get it straight. This is not to excuse crime. Wrong is wrong. But if we are going to talk about wrong, let's talk about the system that keeps producing it. We have graduates, brilliant minds roaming the streets, some with first-class degrees, some topped their departments, and yet they are unemployed or doing a job that doesn't even require a WAEC certificate. These are the people that were told, face your book and your future will be bright. But now they are facing rejection, depression, debt. So what do you expect happens? When a generation realizes that doing it right doesn't pay, it's not just poverty, it's policy failure. Nigeria has no real support system, no affordable housing, no benefits, not even decent basic free healthcare. Some women are risking their lives giving birth naturally, even against medical advice. Not because they want to prove anything, but because they cannot even afford not to. Apart from the Hebrew women title many are aiming for, most of them are just trying to save money for their families. I know of a woman who refused to have C-section because it was almost 10 times the cost of natural birth. This woman stayed in labor for a long time, and when the baby eventually came, he had suffered so much distress during labor and he was permanently disabled. That is the price some Nigerian families are paying. And we're not even talking about those that lost their lives or the lives of their baby during birth because they could not provide deposits.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
So when people say, God forbid Nigeria happens to me, you understand, because if you fall in Nigeria, you fall hard. And that's why you see even good people or honest people end up doing things they never imagined. Not because they are evil, but because they are exhausted. I know some people will come out and say, hey, you're excusing crime. No, I'm not. Wrong is wrong. But you have to see the context. Look at when somebody gets to the end of their rope, what do? And yes, there are people that still keep pushing no matter what. But there's so much one person can take. This is where To Kill a Monkey hits different, because it doesn't show evil people. It showed people pushed to the edge. Efe wasn't trying to be a criminal. He was just trying to survive, to help his family. He was educated, talented, had people depending on him. But he got tired of watching people that are not as intelligent as he was cheat the system and win, while he played by the rules and suffered. That's what made the shift understandable. And honestly, because you know the backstory, because you know the weight he's carrying, you find yourself rooting for him, hoping he changes before it's too late, wishing the inspector or the law enforcement is always one step behind. Not because you support crime, but because you understand the pain behind his choices. That's the power of this story. It makes you wrestle with your own sense of justice. Because how many young Nigerians are in the same position today? Not bad people, just tired. Tired of your time will come advice, tired of motivational quote, tired of saying, God, when? When what they need is opportunity. It's not as if they don't have what it takes. They do. And so you start to hear things like, let me just do this small one, then I will back off. God understands. Who honesty help. Bit by bit, desperation starts to sound like wisdom, like smartness. The movie didn't glorify crime. It humanized it. It made you sit with the tension, and that tension is real. Another reason this conversation we are having about this movie matters is that the world is watching. And sadly, they are not seeing our resilience or our brilliance. They're seeing our brokenness. Scam baiters like Pleasant Green and others have made entire channels documenting Nigerian scammers.
So I pick on Nigerians a lot in my videos, and it's not my intention. It just so happens that the majority of scams that I personally come across originate out of Nigeria. It seems that what I've uncovered is a scam that's originating in Nigeria.
And to be fair, Ben from Pleasant Green and other scam baiters are respectful towards Nigerians. They don't paint all of us as scammers, but they are not telling the whole story, which is not even in their place to tell. Millions of views, and I watch them too. And yes, these scam baiters are genuinely exposing fraud, and I am here for it. But what they don't show is the system that produced that fraud. And once in a blue moon, they show the honest one that wants to break away from crime. But they don't always show the backstory like we saw in To Kill a Monkey. And now we are famous, but for the wrong reasons. And the damage goes beyond YouTube. Some of our people can't even get remote jobs because of the bias, or they are forced to overprove themselves just because of their country of origin. It's not fair, but that's what happens when your country's struggles are turned into internet entertainment. The world sees the crime, but not the context. And if we don't tell our own story with honesty, someone else will keep telling it for us the wrong way. So what do we do with all this tension, this pain, this truth? First, we thank the storytellers, because Kemi Adetiba and our entire crew didn't just give us drama. They gave us context. They told our story without stripping away our dignity. They showed the brokenness, but also the humanity, and that matters. Because too often when Nigeria's story is told, especially online, is full of stereotypes, shame, and surface level takes. Every time fraud, every time Yahoo when they talk about Nigeria. But To Kill a Monkey reminded us that our stories are complex. That behind every criminal headline, there might be a person cornered, struggling, tired of being invincible. So no, this is not about defending crime. It's about demanding better. Because if we don't fix the root causes, we'll keep blaming the fruits while the tree keeps rotten. And if we don't tell our own stories, someone else will tell it for us the way they want to. I can't wait to see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.